Welcome to the 2024 IPF World Classic and Equipped Bench Press Championships, live from Austin, Texas, brought to you by none other than Aleco and SBD. We are in day 5 now, and this afternoon we will have the sub-junior and junior 105 kilo men. I'm Gary Williams, and I'm joined by the legend, world champion multiple times, Joe Whiteley, and it is shaping up to be a fantastic afternoon today, Joe.
We've seen a standard of lifting at this competition that we've never seen before. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Through the juniors, the masters, and the open sessions in particular have been superb. Great standard of lifting. Yeah,
it's been incredible. You can see the running order on the board there, and I just had a look at the opening lift nominations for the juniors. There is nothing between 8 of these lifters. There is just a hair separating them in the openers. It is going to come down to the wire with this one. Of course, first off, we'll have Yegor Katsanov from Kazakhstan.
Usually loaded for the next lifter before the lifter walks off the platform.
We are about to get underway, and Yegor Kuznetsov, we've not seen him at World Bench before. His first international was at Asian Men's Full Power, and he benched 127.5 that day, opening with 130.
So this is his first World Championships and his first bench-only international.
Of course, the rate of progression in sub-juniors is phenomenal, but also he's not had to do a squat before he benches, so that's going to add a little bit.
Well, he handled those first lift nerves like an absolute professional. And we're just waiting on the lights. There it is, 3 whites, and he's off to a good start. So we'll have the juniors and the sub-juniors. So Yegor was in the sub-junior. And we'll stay in the sub-junior. Matej Kuka from Czechia. Monster 162.5.
Matej is 18 years old.
He's only been competing for a couple of years too.
Yeah, first international. And I think if Kucha gets this, he will have established a lead that will be pretty much impossible to beat.
Yeah, and that was a very clean lift.
Easy opening weight. Load the bar to 160.
I was just looking at him walk off there, and I thought he's a big 105. Weighed in at 104.15. So wouldn't be surprised to see him move up to the 120s in the juniors or the opens. So James Kellerman from the US now, 165. So all our next lifters in this round will be juniors.
James Kellerman's 19. He's just come up from the sub-juniors. He was sub-junior world champion last year, but it's a big transition into the juniors.
It is a big change, and it's really tough for some of these weight classes. You know, you're at the top as a sub-junior, then you've got to sort of start again in the juniors. And then you get to the opens, you've got to start all over again.
And that is a
so you're 5 years in the juniors, so if you're moving up from the sub-juniors, you've got people with a lot of experience and growth in there with you.
Bar is loaded.
Well, he had no problems with that one.
22 years old, been competing 4 years.
So, right, Rian Smith from the Netherlands now. 180 kilos. There's some big numbers going on the board. To give you an idea of the caliber of the junior 105s, the current world record for juniors is 233.5 kilos.
Wow. Rennie Keiki in Vastras. But a 180 kilo bench, any gym in the world, you see someone benching 180, that is a phenomenal lift.
Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I certainly wasn't anywhere near those numbers when I was in junior. And a superb opener.
That is a yellow card failure from the front.
Center.
So let's see if we can see what the referee saw.
That bar is loaded for Nick. He is from Germany, 21 years old, works as a police officer.
Well, nothing that we can pick up from that camera angle, but needless to say, it's a good lift. The jury haven't responded to that. So, Nick Hecken from, is that correct, Hecken?
Hecken.
Hecken from Germany, 182.5.
This is close, isn't it? We have four
There's
lifters in
nothing in
180 to 185.
And look, I honestly think even Oliver, even though
And
he's
that lift
opening
is
at
good.
205, I
Weight
don't think he's
remains at
safe either.
182.5. It is loaded and ready for John Tyler of the United
He's
States.
going to have to make all his attempts and stay ahead.
It's another good lift on the board. John Tyler now from the US, 182.5.
John is one of
So
9 juniors in the 105s competing here.
So we've got about 5 lifters that are within 10 kilos of each other, and then we jump to Oliver, who's a little bit further ahead, but I just don't think he's safe there. He's going to have to get everything on the board.
You'll see John's weighed in quite light in class. He's gone up. He was the bronze medalist in the 93s last year. Weighed in at 96.3, so he's not really grown into class yet.
Yeah, he's got a couple more, quite a few more kilos he can afford to put on, and that'll give him a bit more pushing power as well.
Bar is loaded at 185. Our
lift.
lifter is Kirill Sakharov.
So Kirill Sakharov from Great Britain now, 185.
Now, it's great to see him back on the platform, actually. I'm familiar with this lifter, but I haven't seen him for quite some time. He was the sub-junior 93 kilo world champion in 2019. Hasn't done much internationally since then.
And here he is back on the international platform.
If I'm right, he's from Northern Ireland.
The lift
And
is
he's
good.
got a
2 to
red
1.
card
Weight
from the
remains
front
at
referee, which would be
185.
elbow
It is
depth.
loaded and ready.
So the bottom of the elbow
lifter
must
is
pass,
Romani
be at least
Jurgen
parallel with the centre of the shoulder
of
joint.
Finland.
And from this angle, it looks okay. That left shoulder is a bit hard to see on that angle.
It
and
was slightly higher than the right, but I think he's good. Jury aren't interested. That was a good lift for Kirill Sakharov.
Romani Jurgen from Finland, 185. Now that was probably the only opening
And the lift
185
is
that
good
looked
for
a little
Romani.
bit slower.
Raised the bar to
And
192.5.
just going on the expression on his face, I
It
don't
is
think he
loaded
expected
and
it to
ready
be that
for
slow.
John Ray Walls of Canada.
He was silver medalist in sub-juniors in Vilnius 21. Haven't seen him at World Bench since then. He's been doing the
23-year-old
Europeans.
Student, been competing for 3 years.
So John Ray Walls now from Canada, 192.5. Yeah, we talk about the speed of the platform crew here today, and it's not just the athletes that impacts on, it also impacts on the coaches. I mean, you've got to be really on the ball when everything's moving so fast. You don't want your athlete to be late to the platform. Looks good.
And that lift is
That
good.
was
We
a
stay at
great
192.
international
Certainly
debut.
was.
Skipped off the platform.
Bar is
We don't see
loaded
many people
for
skip
Trym
anymore. It's disappointing.
Ragrok of Norway.
It's a very efficient way of moving. So Trym Ragrok from Norway now. 192.5.
Just starting out in his international career, he did the Europeans in Merignac last year. That's the only time we've seen him. He benched 187.5 that day, and here he is opening 5 kilos heavier.
Bit of a tough opener.
Easy
Yeah, it
opening
was
attempt,
just a
3
little
white lights,
slow.
it's perfect. Raise the
But
bar
we
to
haven't really seen him
205.
lift very
Our
often,
lifter,
so
Susa
some lifters
Oliver.
do just
Yeah,
lift
I mean, everyone
slowly.
has their different style. I mean, everyone lifts and coaches differently to get the best out of their
Bar
athlete.
is loaded with 205 kilos. He's a 20-year-old
Well,
student.
usually when you come into a
He's already
competition
been
as the
competing
top
for 9
nominee
years.
and opening lift, there's not a lot of pressure. But realistically, Susan Oliver now from Hungary, this is a high pressure lift because everyone behind him is right there close enough to strike.
He's the defending world champion. He's done as much as 220 in competition.
Yeah, so you'd have to imagine 205 should be a fairly easy opener for him. And it is. Look at that.
That was very easy.
And the lift is good.
He
We
just-
didn't have a
he just set the
single
standard then, didn't he?
The entire round one, ladies and gentlemen. That's fantastic. We're going to strip it down to 145. Bar is loaded and ready for Yegor Kuznetsov of Kazakhstan.
And there is our current
taking
standings.
15
Kukucha, sorry,
kilo jump.
from Czechia in front on 162.5 in the sub-juniors. Kuznetsov from in 130 there. And in the juniors, Oliver well out in front on 205. So we come around to round 2. Yegor Kuznetsov.
The
That was a
platform,
tongue twister, that one.
the platform crew moving so fast we can barely get a summary in before the next lift is out. Now that was tough off the chest.
Yeah, I
That
just
is a
caught
good
the
look,
top of
3
that
white
there.
lights.
Let's have a look at the replay from the
Raise
front.
the bar to 170 kilos.
And you'll see, I just think it shifted back on him a little bit.
It is loaded and ready
It
for
did,
James
just off the
Kellerman
front of it,
the
just as he
United
pressed, it
States.
just moved ever so slightly. And that's, you know, when you're at the top of your
He
1
has moved
RM,
up 5 kilos.
half a centimetre makes all the difference. So James Kellerman from the US, 170. So we're back into the juniors now. Mind you, that was a big jump too.
Oh, Kuznetsov scratched.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That is a good lift for James. We go up to 170.
3 white lights for James Kellerman.
We're going to call out Matej Kukucha of the Czech Republic. Bar is loaded.
So Matej Kukucha from Czechia now,
He made
175. We're into the
162.5
sub-juniors. And he is
Moves
the
up
gold
to
medalist
Way out
now.
in front. Way out in front.
with-
Maybe Kuznetsov thought that that's so hard, there's no point, I can't do any more. I'm not going to catch the first place man.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's always entirely possible, isn't it?
Usually you'd want to get that international experience. Time on the international platform is hard to come by.
Yeah, and I think especially for a sub-junior, it's really important to get that
187.5.
time on the platform.
It is loaded and ready for Rian Smith.
3 white lights for
Yes.
Kukucha.
Ian Smith now from the Netherlands. He's fired up for this one.
7.5 kilos.
And I guess that's one of the advantages too of a bench-only competition. You can afford to be a bit more fired up for every lift. 3 lift, you've really got to pace that.
Yeah, manage your
Aggression a little bit.
arousal. Now the lifters are so tightly packed that this will move around from 8th to 4th in one go. Obviously a lot of other lifters still have to do their second bench.
Well, that was a good-looking second lift.
The lift is good.
3 whites.
Please raise the bar to 190.
He's giving himself some wiggle room
It
there
is
for his
loaded and
third.
ready for John Tyler of
Trying
the
to create
United States.
opportunities. John Tyler from the US will take the platform next.
John will attempt to go from 7th to 4th with his 190.
Looking for 190. Just 7.5 kilo jump. Not a big jump for this weight class. Pretty standard.
So this lifter and the next 3, if they're successful, will each leapfrog over into 4th place.
He has quite incredible flexibility, doesn't he?
That is a
And it's
good
3
lift.
white lights.
Load the bar to 192.5. It is ready. Bar loaded for Nick Hecken of Germany.
So he moves up into
Nick has
4th
jumped 10
position
kilos.
for the moment. Nick Hecken from Germany now 192.5 to go into 4th position.
10 kilo jump, fairly standard in this class.
Yeah, it's certainly not unusual to see 7.5, 10, or even 12.5 kilo jump. The bigger the weight classes, you start to see some bigger jumps. Oh, that made him work, didn't it?
That looks close to the limit.
He's got strong triceps, so he has a good lockout. But off the chest, that was tough. He gets good speed initially, slows down a little bit into transition, then his triceps kick in.
He's jumped 10
To lock out.
attempting to go from 7th to the silver medal position.
So Kurulov Sakharov from Great Britain now 195, looking to leapfrog into second position from 7th.
He has done this weighting competition before, but as I say, he's been absent from the international platform for a few years. He's 23 years old and he's a student. That probably explains why. He's been focusing on his studies.
Well, his training's clearly going well.
That is a good look.
Oh, he's
Gets
been
a
a
red light
great
there.
bencher.
Gets a red light and a red card from the centre referee on elbows. I think he got the same call on the last
did.
one.
Of Finland.
I think it's the way he tucks that left elbow in a bit further as well. Makes it look a little
With this
higher when it's not.
195, he will attempt to go from 8th to the bronze medal position.
So Hermanni Javanpää from Finland, 195.
He slowed down a lot with that second attempt.
That is a good lift. 3 wide
But that
lights.
jumps
It's
him
about to
from
get
8th
interesting.
to 4th.
Our next weight, 197.5. is
That's
loaded
how
and
close
ready
this round
for
is, isn't it?
Ragnarok of Norway.
One lift and you move 4 places.
He is currently in 4th place. This will move him into the silver medal. That is a good lift. 2 to 1.
He gets
We've got
two
a
light,
good
two
battle
whites, and he
going.
gets a yellow
Our
there
next
from the
weight,
side ref. We'll have a
202.5
close look at that
for
one.
Walls of Canada. Bar is loaded.
Ooh, butt lift, I expect.
Yes, and the jury has overruled.
Overruled the last lift.
You have to keep your butt firmly planted on the bench. Well, touching at least.
John Ray Walls from Canada, 202.5.
Now this will actually jump him up to
This
second. It will
202.5
jump him past
Put
Sakharov.
John Ray Walls into the silver
His
medal.
opening lift looked great.
And this will actually keep him in touch with Souza. Nice.
Good.
And he's got a fair bit in
31
reserve.
lights, it's a
Yeah, this
perfect
puts a bit of
attempt.
pressure on Sousa now. I mean,
Our
Sousa's
next weight,
really got to get this lift on the
212.5
board
for Sousa Oliver. It
because
is loaded and ready.
Walls is getting awfully
He's your
close to
current
him.
Leader in the 105 kilo juniors.
He looks on fire though, doesn't he?
He does. His 205 was super easy. But Walls is doing his thing. He is right behind with 202.5. If Sousa nails this 212, then it's probably game over.
Yeah, look, I always say to athletes, stick to your plan until there's an opportunity. Just nailed it, and he really nailed that.
And just
Two
like
Oh, he
20s
gets
there.
one red light with a red card. From a side referee, I think it'll be okay.
If the centre ref hasn't given a red for elbow depth, then I think it's okay.
I mean, it looks okay from that angle.
Bar is loaded for James. He
And
will
there we
attempt
are
to
at
go
the
through
end.
Oh, it has been
of-
overruled,
Oh, it's been
Gary.
overruled, so
So
that changes things.
Everything changes now. So Walls is in touch with Sousa because he's lost his 212.5 and he's back to 205.
Yeah, so Kukucha's still in front in the sub-juniors, and in the juniors there, well, Sousa's still in front and followed by Walls, but it does change things. The board hasn't quite updated yet. Oh, that's a tough lift for Kellerman.
It was.
That is a no lift for James Kellerman.
And the scoreboard has just updated. So
Takes a little while sometimes. People are putting attempts in.
yeah, there's a lot happening over there. So if you're watching this at home and you're trying to keep up with the attempts, go to goodlift.info and watch the live scoreboard. Matija Kukucha from Czechia now, 182.5.
Already world champion in the sub-juniors.
Is the sub-junior world champion. And I think this is the best lift for him. I think this will improve his best lift by quite a bit. Oh, and I think he's just
a stitch too far.
Yeah, he's just taking a bit too big a bite.
Although we lift in kilograms in the IPF, most lifters have sort of benchmarks, and 182.5 is one of those benchmark numbers, 400 pounds.
So we move back into the juniors now, and such a close group.
Now looking at those attempts, Gary, Sousa's under pressure from about 4 different...
Sousa's under a lot of pressure now. Ryan Smith, 195. This can shift him from 8th to bronze in one lift. Yeah, look, and I think with Sousa missing that lift, everyone's gone, hey, we've got a shot here.
And I think this is what we've seen at this competition. There has been a depth of competition, even in sub-junior classes, even in masters
there really
classes,
has been.
right throughout.
Oh.
He pushed that in the wrong direction. If we could see that back from the side, I think he pushed up, not back.
For Nick Hecken of Germany, it is loaded and ready. Nick will try to make the podium. Currently sits in 6th place. Bar
Yeah, he dropped that in a really high spot in his chest, and I think his natural pushing position was a little further forward, and that's what's driven it forward. Nick Hecken now from Germany, 195, in an attempt to go into the bronze medal position from 6th. Everyone trying to get a toe on the podium. Oh, he's just hit a wall there.
Let's hear it for Nick Hecken.
But he got everything he was capable of on the day. He hit 192.5, missed 195. He left nothing behind.
Yeah, look, he can walk away from this going, you know what, I gave it everything I had. So John Tyler from the US now, looking for 197.5, also trying to get into the bronze medal position. Is this going to be another case of whoever gets the lift gets the medal?
I think so. Realistically, Sousa, he's more than capable of pressing 220, and he's a very experienced lifter. I'm sure he can make the necessary adjustments.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Walls is the one he's most threatened by.
I think the real battle is for silver and bronze, and there's 4 or 5 lifters that could go that way.
Oh, great lift from John Tyler. He gets a red light and a red card there from the side referee.
So that's elbow depth.
Bar is loaded for Trim Gragrok of Norway.
But from the front angle there, it seems to look fine. The Trum Gragrok now from Norway. Looking for 200 to get into bronze medal. He missed the 197.5.
I can't just remember why. Did it not come off the chest? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I cannot entirely recall that. So this is a bit of a shot to get into the medals. And again, he's just hit the wall there.
So far and no further.
Our next weight, 205 kilos.
Now things start to get a little bit more interesting because now they're chasing the gold medal position.
Bar is loaded. He is jumping 10 kilos in an attempt to go from 4th to the gold medal right here. If you're
Kirill Sakharov from Great Britain looking for 205 to go from 4th to 1st.
Looking to get past Sousa. Now, I think he's been drawing 1 red card for depth each time.
Every single time that left arm. See, It doesn't seem high. The left, he tucks the left arm in a little bit further.
Yeah, and I think the danger is if you're right up at your maximum, you might be just skimping on the technique just a tiny bit. But he's a great bencher.
Oh, that one slowed him down though.
There's a no lift for Kirall.
So by going for the gold, maybe he's sacrificed a podium place.
Hold up, we have an attempt.
So we've got a couple of attempt changes coming in now. And
On single lift bench, you can change your attempt twice, just like in deadlift in full power.
Our next weight is 205. However, the lifter is
so John Ray Walls has changed. He's going for 205 now.
Bar is
So
loaded.
he is
John
lighter
Ray
than
is
Oliver.
your
So the
current
plan is here
silver
to
medalist,
equal his lift.
attempting 205
And
for the gold.
the strategy here is clear. Get past and hope that whatever ailed
If you are
Sousa
from
on the
Canada,
last
right
lift,
now's the time
he's
to
not
clap
going to be
your
able
hands
to
for
overcome on
John
his
Ray
third.
Walls. Ladies and gentlemen, this is
So
for
he's
the gold
currently
medal.
in the silver medal position. This will put him into the gold medal.
He's definitely getting a medal.
Yeah, there's no
Might
doubt about
not-
that.
Not guaranteed the silver yet.
Just have to wait and see what colour it's going to be. Oh, it stopped, but I don't think
I
it
don't
did.
think it dipped. Oh, the
he's got
referees
two red
do.
cards. Yeah, I
If we
thought
can
the
get-
coach would go to the jury on that one.
If we can get a
Our
front
weight
view
is
of the
205
replay,
kilos. It is loaded and ready for Hermione.
I don't think that dipped.
Joventa.
Yeah, I'd definitely be going to the jury on that one.
This is a 10
The
kilo
coach
jump,
is at the
trying
jury.
to go from 5th to the gold medal.
but he doesn't seem to be
Anybody
getting
here from
much
Finland? Let's get behind this young
traction
man.
from them.
Harvon Porters are on the platform right now, looking to go after the gold medal on 205.
They've overturned.
It has been
They've
overturned.
The jury giveth as well as taketh away. That is a good lift. Walls is in the
That
front.
is a no lift.
And I
The
believe
jury has
Yavanpar is a no lift. It is
So
no
we-
lift.
We kind of talked over
Yeah,
Yavanpar there,
and I
so
apologise
apologies.
for that. So that
See,
means
he
Walls
just
is
couldn't
currently,
get his
yeah.
right arm
We have
to
an
lock.
attempt to
So that means
change
Walls
in
is
progress.
currently in the gold medal position, and
No, if I was Sousa, I'd
He's
come
dropping.
down. Yeah,
It was
there we go.
overturned for a good lift.
Drop to
Now
212 and a
we
half.
212.5 for Sousa
well, I think that was a
Oliver.
really smart move. So Sousa Oliver will take the platform for the last lift of this
Bar is
session,
loaded.
212.5. He
He
is
will
in the
attempt
silver medal
to
position.
overtake
We know he can handle the
Walls
weight.
of
He
Canada.
just
This
has
is
to
for
meet the
the
technical
gold
standard.
medal. 212.5 for Sousa Oliver.
That's Agnes Sharbo coaching, lifting tomorrow, I think. Legendary bencher. And that was
good.
so
That
easy.
was an easy
And
weight,
does he get
ladies and
3
gentlemen.
whites? He does, and he takes out the gold medal. He is the world champion.
Oliver is your champion.
You cannot overturn 3 white lights.
What a great way for him to finish. Everyone was putting pressure on trying to go after those medals.
That was a nail biter at the
It
end,
certainly
Gary.
was. And it came down to, in the sub-juniors, Kukucha there with 175 and the gold medal, with Kuznetsov in 145 in the silver. In the juniors, Oliver holds on, gets the 212.5 and the gold medal. Walls takes silver with 205, and Tyler with 197.5 and the bronze. Don't go too far away. We've got the medal ceremony coming up very shortly, and of course we'll be back not long after that with even more action.
Here are your 105 junior and sub-juniors. Awards this afternoon are being presented by your very own IPF President Gaston Farage. We start with the 105 kilo sub-juniors. Earning the silver medal from Kazakhstan, Yegor Kuznetsov. And your champion with a lift of 175 kilos from the Czech Republic, gold medalist Matej Kukacha. I ask that you would all rise. Please remove your caps for the playing of the Czech Republic national anthem. Congratulations, gentlemen. We move to the 105 kilo junior award winners. Earning the bronze medal from the United States, John Tyler. Earning the silver medal with a 205 kilo lift from Canada, John Ray Walls. And your champion with a very easy 212.5 from Hungary, Sousa Oliver. I ask that you all rise. Please remove your caps for the playing of the Hungarian national anthem. All right, congratulations, gentlemen. Fine lifting. All right, we will parade them out. Give them one final applause as we walk them by.